watching this video, it's because you have volunteered to help us out with the Torah Scribing Weekend, February 19th to 21st. A big thank you to you. We have 4 categories of volunteers, and you probably received an email to tell you which category you were in and when you were volunteering. We have guides, welcome volunteers, volunteer supervisors, and activity volunteers. If you're unsure which category you're in or when you're volunteering, please contact Audrey Moss. Audrey's contact information is in your volunteer workbook. What we're going to do today is we're going to walk you through all the various volunteer stations and what the different volunteers will be doing. Some of you will only be at one station. Some of you, like the guides, will be moving around the synagogue. Let's get going. I am standing at the corner of the Betty Jane Israel's atrium and the Northeast atrium. This is where the volunteer registration desk will be. This is your first point of call, and this is where you will come, and the person at the desk will show you where to go. We are now at the entrance to the synagogue. To my left are the stairs down to P1. To my right is the main entrance, and behind me is the sanctuary. This is where our greeters will stand. Our greeters will welcome people as they enter the synagogue and direct them down the hallway. This is the welcome station. After our groups have been greeted at the entrance to the synagogue, they will be directed to come over here. And if you are playing the role of guide today, you will be directed to come here to meet your group. You will have with you in your registration pack a cheat sheet which will indicate times for your particular group. There are several things that you're going to have to do when you meet your group. You'll have to introduce yourself, welcome them, give them an idea of your role and an idea of what's going to happen to them during the course of the next hour or so. Your group will have to sign a permission form for photographs, and you'll have to remind them to turn off their cell phones. We are now in the other back chapel. This is where we will have our well of Torah, which is essentially a teaching opportunity. You, as guide, will bring your group in here, and they will choose from the well a learning. They will take out a little piece of paper with the learning on it. The teacher, there will be volunteer teachers in here, will then teach for 8 minutes to that subject. As guide, you can sit back and listen and enjoy yourself. Just make sure they keep to their 8 minutes. After that, you're going to take them through the back exit and into the ballroom. We're in the ballroom. It's going to look very different from this on the day of scribing. We're going to have a Moroccan tent in here and various stations. For example, we'll have a station set up where you can write your Hebrew name. We'll have a tree, a wishing tree, where you can place a tree. We will have a station where you can go and listen to stories. Our Rabbi Roki Bernstein will be telling some stories, and they have been videotaped. We'll also have a nice little corner where people can cozy up with some appropriate books, useful for all ages. And we will have a station where people can decorate the binder that we will use for our new Torah. The role of our volunteer guide is to lead people from station to station and make sure that that happens within a 20-minute time frame. Our activity volunteers will man or person each of the tables and provide people with age-appropriate activities. Guide volunteers, remember to get your group to wash their hands before they leave. We have hand washing stations on both the north and the south walls. I recommend the north wall because it's near the exit. We're in the pray and play room. This room too is going to look very different during scribing. We're going to remove all the furniture and just create a nice, safe, calm space where people can spend 5 minutes or so preparing themselves for the wonderful experience of scribing and completing Mitzvah 613. We're in the sanctuary. I'm on the bima, and this is where Rabbi Druin will be. He'll have a table, a lovely new Torah, a lamp, and he'll be under a canopy. You will bring your group in, and they will be welcomed by Rabbi Druin, and he will lead them through the process of writing their letter. There will also be a photographer available, and that photographer will capture the moment when the family, the group, writes their letter. As you lead the group out, remind them that their photograph will be mailed to them and that they will receive the keepsake. Let's go to the final station. We're back in the Betty Jane Israel's atrium. This is the final station, and this is where your guests get to relax, reflect, and have some refreshments. Volunteer guides, you still have a couple of things left to do. You need to thank your group. You need to give them their keepsake, a keepsake gift. And you need to remind them to come, if they're able, on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. to the closing ceremony for the scribing. We will also have volunteer activity people, and they will be helping the guests get refreshments and videotaping people just to capture the moment. But videotaping only if they are willing. And that's it. You're done. And you can go home knowing that you have given people a wonderful, meaningful experience and helped them to fulfill Mitzvah 613. Thank you.